My pork and citrus skewers with avocado tzatziki is something I've been making for years. It's really one of my go-to recipes that I use, especially with my boys on a summer day. Get out there and grill. But again, this is a recipe you can do all year long. You know, you can use a saute pan. You can use one of these great indoor grill pans that I just put on a burner. But look here, I've got a beautiful, like this lean, pork tenderloin that I'm using, or you can use, just kind of trim up a pork loin. But it's fantastic, and just cut it into bite sizes that I'm going to skewer. And again, if you're using skewers, talking about that, these bamboo skewers, if you're going to put this on a grill, on an outdoor grill that's got a flame, you want to make sure that you're soaking these for at least an hour, because they'll burn, they'll fall through the grill, then you got a big mess on your hands. Or even on one of these grill pans, you want to make sure, just for the purpose that it doesn't burn at all, you want to make sure that you soak these for at least an hour. Okay, so going back to my pork, I'm going to marinate this, these pork with a nice little spicy mix that I like to put on here. A little bit of chili powder goes on, just a little chili powder on that, about a teaspoon. And then I've got some fresh garlic, some fresh minced garlic that I'm going to put on. And then some chili flakes. So it gives it a little spice, and obviously I always tell people I love spice, but if you want to make it optional, just leave that part of it off. Some orange juice, because I am using some citrus on here, and some lemon juice. Oh, this is great. Now, I like to marinate my pork for, at least a minimum would be 30 minutes to an hour. Maximum, I like to marinate it overnight, because pork can really handle that. It really can handle the infusion of the salt, the marinade. It's totally fine. Now, shrimp, chicken, fish, you don't want to marinate it that long. It really is 3 to 6 hours on things like that. Especially shrimp is really quick, maybe a 30-minute, 25, 30-minute marinade. But for pork, absolutely. Good overnight. Never will hurt it. The longer, the better. All right. So just mix that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm starting, you can see that I've already skewered a few of these. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So I've kind of, just taken a little pork, a little bit of citrus, kind of rotated it some. So what I'm going to do is skewer a pork piece, take a piece of orange wedge, a little bit of lemon wedge. And the great thing about the lemon and the orange is actually I keep the skin on, because it actually cooks and becomes nice and sweet, and you can actually eat it, which is fantastic. So I'm going to just skewer those babies on there. Get that nice and marinate, get that marinade on there and just kind of juice it up a little bit. And this actually does the juice kind of soaks onto that piece of pork as it cooks as well. So it's really fantastic. So take a few of those. Now I'm going to put those right on. I'm going to oil them a little bit. Oil my little grill pan too. A little oil on there. And again, I'm using my Kalamata olive oil for this, or you can use my olive oil from Crete, as long as it's one of my good extra virgin olive oils. So we'll put a few of those on while I keep skewering some. We'll get those on there. Look at that. And while it's on there, I always do a little extra crack of pepper right on the top, because you like to make sure you're seasoning both sides. So make sure always with meat, anything, whether it's vegetables, meat, fish, chicken, always season both sides. Help build the flavor, and that's what's most important. So we'll turn this a little bit, make sure we're getting some good grill marks on here. People think with pork and pork tenderloin that you got to cook it to death the way it used to be 10 years ago. Not anymore. Pork is treated so well, and nowadays you can really cook it till it's pink inside. So give these about 8 to 10 minutes, and they're perfect. And we can start turning these over until they're nice. Oh, look at that. You can see the caramelization. Look, the caramelization is on this meat, and also look at this. Beautiful. On the citrus, you're going to start getting, and I can smell that. The natural sugars in the citrus is so wonderful. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Beautiful. And this is what happens. The sugars, again, as well, that you have from that orange juice and that citrus that's in the marinade, gives it this nice glaze on the pork. And that's what you want, because anything that's, pork and sweeter things like pineapples and mango, any of those kind of sweeter things, cherries, go hand in hand. It's a very classical match to have fruit and pork together. So while those cook, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start working on my avocado tzatziki. When you're making a tzatziki, which is a classic Greek sauce, you always use, what I believe you always do, is you always use a great Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurts are naturally really super thick. They're not that watery type of yogurt that you find sometimes on the market. They're really thick. I mean, look at that. It really can. It should hold up on a spoon, really nice and thick. That's what you want. You don't want something that's watery. So what I do with tzatziki is add in some fresh garlic right in there. Again, some lemon juice, a little citrus goes in. You always need a good olive oil in tzatziki. A little pour of that. Look how beautiful that looks. And then just some really beautiful cucumber. And I like to grate it, kind of get some of the juice in there. And this is a nice little cucumber here that you can get some of that flavor in. Just some of that cucumber flavor in. You can use any cucumber that's seasonal. It's the summertime. You can get great local cucumbers from the farmers, probably around in your town. Get those. Cucumbers are great. But when they're not in season, when it's not summer, you know, get what you can find on the market. You know, the good English cucumbers are great that are wrapped and packaged. You'll see them in the plastic. Those are always really tasty. Or whatever you can find on the market is nice. But these days you can make tzatziki any time of the year. All right? So we'll stir that up. And then your avocado. Now I'm using one of my great knives here. This is my little paring knife. Okay, you can see how beautifully it's made. Got the riveting in here. You can see that my knife is one piece. It's not two pieces. Absolutely beautiful. And my real sturdy cutting board. And you can get that at catcora.com. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and for you at home, I'm going to show you how to do that. I usually do it in my hand, which I don't want you to do. That's Iron Chef stuff. We'll do that later. But right now, just put it on your cutting board. All right, cut right through here. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's a sharp knife. So when you get it, start working with it. Remember that. Now, one of my little tricks for avocados is to, and again, I'd put it on the cutting board if you're new at this. Just slice right through it, long ways. Turn it to the side. Go across it. And you're making, what you're doing is you're actually creating a diced avocado while you're doing that. You're just going to scoop that out with a spoon and look at that. What have you made? You've made avocado. And this is a great way to just dice avocado. There you go. It's already diced up for you. Easy, easy, easy way to do that. So if you're making guacamole, forget about trying to peel the avocado and do all that hard work. Super easy. Just take that and then you take the seed, just kind of cut it. Kind of pop your knife into the center and you can pop your little seed out that way. Knock it on the side of the sink or side of your cutting board. And again, you're going to go through, slice it long ways, like that. Widthwise. And again, just scoop it out. There you go. And you have it right there. Super easy to do. I think I have enough in there. I'm going to set that there for later and I'll eat that. And then you just make your tzatziki. Get that all stirred in. Tend to your skewers, but look what I made earlier. Oh, this platter. And here you have it. This is my pork and citrus skewers with avocado tzatziki. And remember, keep cooking.